Hello and welcome to Azure Advent Calendar series. Today I'm going to brief you about Azure Cognitive Services and how easily you can infuse AI into your applications. I'm Arafat Tassin and I'm a Microsoft MVP for AI and technical consultant at Valrada. In case you want to connect with me, then here are my details. I'm mostly active on Twitter. Before we dive into cognitive services, let's have a look at the importance of AI in coming years. While some friends still think that AI is just a buzzword, if you look at the statistics, the applications embedded with AI are going to make a big impact into the market. I've listed down a couple of trends for the fact that it is the reality which we all are going to be a part of. As the software development industry is growing exponentially and the demand for technology stack is becoming substantial, it is quite evident that if you as a developer do not keep up to the trends, you may end up losing the importance of your role. As a developer, we always need a good amount of time to learn any component of our stack, and artificial intelligence has always been one of them. Fortunately, just to make our lives easier, and with the advent of cloud native services and applications, most of these AI services are now available at the endpoint of our apps or bots or IoT device. Azure Cognitive Services are similar kind of those services, which are APIs and SDKs that let you embed artificial intelligence to your existing applications without any in-depth knowledge of AI or machine learning. These services enable you to add machine learning capabilities to solve countless problems, be it social, business, or environmental. These services are managed by Microsoft, so we don't have to worry about the underlying algorithms or technical details. Broadly, they are divided into 5 categories, and each of them is really useful for certain business use cases, such as anomaly detector. It can detect anomaly from your time series data, be it your banking transaction or overall temperature of your data center. Q&A maker service adds a conversational layer on your existing data and enable you to simplify your most common customer service problem, which is frequently asked questions. Similarly, with computer or custom vision, you can detect faces, images, emotions, and whatnot. So with the cognitive services, possibilities are endless, and we will definitely learn about each of them in coming videos. However, for this video, I have chosen to give you an overview of Immersive Reader. And the motivation of choosing this service was AI for good. And that's why I'm starting this series of videos with this cognitive service. So before I tell you more about this cool service, let's have a look at this video first.
The true purpose of education is to create possibility.
It was a little hard for me. People laugh whenever I read sometimes.
Well, they knew how to read, and I didn't. I will never be good at reading. I will probably be held back again. It highlights the words to know where I am.
When it's reading, I see spaces between the words, and it's easy to focus on.
The first time I actually could read that book, I was proud of myself. I was very proud of myself.
Good job, Joey.
When technology and education come together, possibility becomes reality.
I want to read every book in here.
So, Immersive Reader, it lets you embed text reading and comprehension capabilities into your applications. It empowers readers of all the abilities with features such as translating language, reading aloud, grammar, and highlighting options. It also supports more than 60 languages, and I'm going to show you how good is that. So the implementation is quite easy. We'll see in the following demo. It supports JavaScript in iOS SDK as of now. It requires an Azure AD Active Directory authentication process for authentication purpose. We'll see how it is going to configure as we'll see how can we configure that as well, and I'll give you a code walkthrough of a sample application which I created on ASP.NET Core. So let's get into this. So this is our Azure portal. For cognitive service, if you want to go and create your cognitive service, you can just add and go create Immersive Reader. You will go over here and fill up these options and you will be able to create Immersive Reader service. I have already created for this demo. For the authentication, as I told you, that it requires Azure Active Directory authentication. So there's a guide of step-by-step process which is already given over here, and Immersive Reader documentation. So you can also follow that if you want to work with Azure CLI. If you want a visual walkthrough, then follow my video and you will be able to understand this very easily. It's an easy process. So to start with, we will go to Azure Active Directory. Then we will go to app registration. On app registration, you have to create a new registration for the service. So you will name it you will put any name whatever you like. So I've already created one over here, right? And if you go inside it, so you will see when the app registration is created, this app URI application ID URI would be empty. So you have to set that, and you will click over here and it will take you to this page. However, the scope will not be there, so you have to add the scope. So it's like your service name http your service name / user impersonation, and you will also give the application ID URI like I have given, so you can give the similar ones as per your name. Then you will go and create a client secret. So for the first time when you create, you will see it as plain text, but the next time you will not be able to see it in a plain text in case you forget or it gets lost. So you can always delete this one and create the new one. If you have shared it with someone, so you should not delete it. Anyway, so once you are done with this, you have to copy the client secret, copy this and application ID, copy tenant ID as well. I'll tell you where to use that later on. So let's go back to our Immersive Reader. So now we have to define a role-based access control for this cognitive service. So it's very simple. You will go to role assignment and add a new user, or the application registration would come over here, and you will assign a cognitive service user role to that application registration. However, since I've already created these two, because these are two distinguished ones. Once I create this one, I created way back, and then this one I created for the sake of this demo. just to check whether everything is working correctly. So yeah, so if you see this, it is the same stuff which is we have seen over there. But so it's a very simple process. In case you think that I've missed something or you are not able to understand this, I have also written a blog post about it, so I'll be pasting the link in the comment section, so you can easily go and check that out. In case you have got any questions, further questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer that. So if you got the idea, let's go to our Visual Studio. This is our Visual Studio, and I've already created one ASP.NET Core application, and this is the basic MVC application. So you know that these it comes with the boilerplate code. What I have done is I have just added a few lines of code. I've just added these secrets. Let me show you those secrets. So these are the secrets which I added. As I told you that client secret, client ID and tenant ID was from app registration, as I showed you earlier. The subdomain is the domain of your Immersive Reader cognitive service. So this is the subdomain, this highlighted one. So I have pasted over here. Then in the home application controller, I've just added this line of code and this to get the token for our service. And then in my index.cs HTML page, I have just written 3 paragraphs. So let me show you first, and then we'll talk about it so that you will understand it better. So this is the web page which I developed for the sake of this demo, and I've created 3 paragraphs. One of them is completely in English. Another one is in multilingual. Another one is multilingual paragraph. So it has got French, Urdu, and English. Then we have got a Spanish paragraph. So first of all, we'll just have a look at the English paragraph, how the Immersive Reader experience will work in this one. So if I click on this icon, so it will just add a layer of iframe on the existing web page, and it will open up this Immersive Reader experience as an iframe on our existing content. So now I'll try to play this one, and then we'll talk about it. So I'll just play it.
Planets have fascinated scientists and humans in general for years. After all, we do live on one ourselves.
So now the page, whatever the content is there, it has been read by the agent, and you can define the voice. What you can select the voice of female or male. You can also define the speed as well of the voice. So this is the basic experience of Immersive Reader. It reads whatever the content you specify. In addition to this, we have got some formatting options and other capabilities. So let's say with the text preferences, we have got the font size capability. Then we can increase or decrease the spacing. We have got fonts in different colors, so you can choose different themes. In addition to this, you have got grammar options as well. You can specify verbs and other part of speech as well as in addition to this, we have got line focus. Like we are on the 3rd line, so you can see now the 3rd line is highlighted. We have got picture dictionary. What it does, that if I click on any Word, it will give me the corresponding image of that and the translation of the language which I want to translate my document into. So it was, since it was word by word translation, so if I want to translate the full document, it can also be done. So I've just clicked on document translation and it has given me the whole translated document. Although the voice support is not there for most of the many languages, but yeah, it's good enough to have on the fly translation. So this was the first one. The second one is different experience of 3 different languages. So I can, if you want, just have a let's play this one first.
Les baristas australiens repoussent les limites en ce qui concerne leur art du café.
Australian baristas push the boundaries when it comes to their coffee art.
Now you must have seen and you must have noticed that it skipped the Urdu translation. Secondly, the accent was quite native when the French was spoken, so it is also a really good experience. Third, we have got this whole paragraph in Spanish, and of course it will have the similar experience, and if you want to translate, you can also translate it. So if you can see the UI as well, so you can also specify the UI language in Spanish as well. While if we go over here, so the UI language is still over here is English, but you can also change the UI language into Spanish as well. So this is really cool, and you can translate in any language you want. So this is also very, very cool stuff. So in code, what I have done is I have created 3 paragraphs as I've shown you, and each paragraph is calling a different method of JavaScript, which I've just listed over here. So you can see, by the way, this code is also available on my GitHub repo. So I'll post the link to the blog post and the link to the GitHub repo in the comment section, so you can easily have an access to that. So let's talk about the first one. So this is the first paragraph. I'm just calling this method over here, and in this method I'm just taking a token, providing the subdomain, and launching the Immersive Reader. So it is that simple. Not doing anything, not providing any options or anything custom. With the multilingual one, this one, what I'm doing is I'm just providing the chunks with the language, and then pushing it to the data bag, and then sending it to Immersive Reader in a similar fashion. For the last one, the UI language option is also set. So this is this was not provided in the previous methods, and that is why the default one was picked up, which was English. So rest of the methods were same. So yeah, so this is so simple stuff, and it's so good for people to help the people with all the abilities to read your content, and it's really cool. So what we have seen so far is you can set the voice either male or female, and then you can you have got different text preferences, font size, type, theme, and then with the grammatical options like parts of speech highlighting, and you can have pictures, translation by word or the whole document. So it is really cool. I think it's a good utility, it's a good service to to use in your existing applications to empower others as well, and it will of course increase the readability of your content. So I would like to thank you for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have got any comments, if you have got any feedback for this, please let me know on the comment section, and I'll be happy to respond back. Thank you very much.